Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This week we're doing another week on the wrist, and this time it's with the Rolex Explorer 36mm in the two-tone configuration. Now, this is a stainless steel yellow gold, solid yellow gold watch, and this is the second two-tone watch I've ever owned in my life. The first watch I've owned, that was two-tone, was the Tudor Black Bay GMT in the root beer configuration, so steel and gold. But the main difference is that was capped gold, whereas this is solid gold, right? It's completely different in terms of the look and the feel. Now, this watch is interesting. And it's interesting because a lot of people don't like this watch, right? A lot of people kind of discount this watch, and it shows in the secondary market. So in the secondary used and gray market, this watch particularly tanks so bloody hard. It tanks so much. It's probably the cheapest way for anyone to get into a gold or precious metal Rolex. This is probably the way to go. Now, what I mean by that is brand new retails about, I believe, 18 or 19K Aussie dollars. And what I'm seeing in the market is that dealers are now discounting these pieces. So obviously when they buy them, they want to sell them over retail. Now they're at retail, and well, not now, a few months ago, they're at retail, and now they're actually under retail. So I'm seeing a lot of these flood the market, especially here in Australia. You can pick up a brand new one of these for about 15 or 16 grand. Now I got this used, and I actually got this as a quick background. I got this in a trade with my brother. So my brother, he's got enormous wrist, about 18 centimeter, and that's about like, it's larger than 7.5 inches in terms of diameter and the circumference of his wrist, right? And I traded my Rolex Explorer 40mm, which I got earlier this year, brand new as a daily wear. I ended up giving that to him and getting this watch off him as a 36mm because the 40 fit him better. 36 fits my 6.5 inch wrist a lot better. I got really small wrist. Now, what I see on the interwebs is a lot of people don't like this watch. They discount it, and I can see why. Because yes, it's an Explorer, but the gold gives it a completely different vibe. As you can see, it's a completely different watch entirely. Like, I wouldn't be mad or I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't call this an Explorer and they just called this a Oyster Perpetual or a Datejust, right? If this was a Datejust smooth bezel Oyster configuration, I think no one would really give a shit. But since it's Explorer, people kind of discount this, which they shouldn't, right? This is a great watch. It's a great value for money, especially if you're paying under retail. Brand new, by the way, under retail. And it's a fantastic, charming watch. The gold gives it a different feel, right? It's not an Explorer. I feel as if that it's not an Explorer-esque watch. It's something completely different. Now, I've been wearing it for a couple of days now during this week. And as you can see, I'm wearing my work attire. And it's been an interesting experience. It's not quite a dress watch, but it's also not quite a sports watch in its nature. Even though it's an Explorer, it's not quite sporty. So join me during this week. It's going to be an interesting week. Let's go. Straight off the bat, I need to be clear that the Rolex Explorer 36 two-tone is actually my least worn watch out of my 4-piece collection. Now, as you can notice in the watch box, the Black Bay 58 is gone. I've actually sold that off for another piece, which I should get in the near future. Back to the Explorer. It's a bit of an odd piece for me. Now, I'm not used to wearing precious metals, but when I do, I feel as if that it goes into the extreme of both formal and casual. And what I mean by that is when I'm wearing it formally, as you can see here with my suit and my work attire, it kind of gives off that typical banker, finance bro vibe, where usually a two-tone Datejust is something that these types of people wear. Now, the size is a good proportion, especially for a work environment. Because it's 36mm, it's not in your face, but that gold adds that level of elevation to the watch, if you will. I'm in sales, so it kind of fits my my work description, so to speak. And typically when people see this watch, they think, oh, it's either this guy must know what he's doing or he's a rip-off artist. But I like to think I'm the first option. Now, when wearing this watch casually, I get hip-hop vibes. I'm thinking wearing 2 gold chains, 2 bracelets and diamond grills, Brooklyn where you at. I'm thinking southern hip-hop, rap star vibes. So maybe it's because I'm not used to wearing gold as a watch and even as a jewelry piece, but that's really the feels that I'm getting. And that's not to say this is a ghetto watch or it makes you feel hood. No, I'm just saying that that's kind of the atmosphere I get. When I compare this with my other pieces, the Speedmaster gives you that sporty, robust, substantial feel on the wrist. The Cartier Santos gives you that elegant, sophisticated and refined, under the radar look, and my date just gives a timeless classic and iconic look and presence to it there. Now, when it comes to the Explorer 36 in steel and gold, it's not quite Explorer, but yet it's not quite date just, right? It's kind of in the middle. And it's hard to find a niche to what this watch actually does, for me at least. Now that's not me shitting on the watch, no, it's just me comparing it with my other pieces. It's hard to find its purpose or where it actually fits in. So my Speedmaster is my sporty watch, my Cartier is my daily watch, my Datejust is my kind of formal watch, if you will. This watch, the Explorer two-tone, is kind of my, not flexi, because it's not a flexi piece, right? It's not a two-tone GMT, but the gold kind of gives it that flexi vibe, if you kind of understand what I'm saying. It's hard to explain, but the precious metal, anything with precious metal in it, kind of gives me that flexi vibe. Needless to say, it does feel good on the wrist. It does look great when it's scratched up, because my example is scratched the fuck up. It's pretty bad, but it adds to that character, and the scratches on the gold, and it will scratch really easily. The scratches here make it look really great.
Now, previous to wearing it, I noticed that the watch was running around maybe 5 seconds to 8 seconds fast. And at one point in time, it was running 10 seconds fast. Now, I keep my watches going on a continuous basis, but with regulating your watches, if you leave it dial up, it's gonna gain seconds, where there's actually a guide on how to regulate your watch. So if you wanted to lose a little bit of seconds, maybe 2 or 3, you place it crown down. Or if you wanted to lose a lot of seconds, you place it crown up. Now, I tried this last night and it didn't work. So when I woke up, the watch was actually 8 seconds fast. So I'm gonna wear it for the week, see how it goes, and if need be, I might have to take it in for a service. Now, I don't know if I'll take it into Rolex service, just because it's only a 2-year-old watch. And if I take it into Rolex, I'll probably have to pay for it because I bought it pre-owned. So I don't think they'll cover it under warranty, and it'll probably take them 6 to 8 weeks to get it back to me. So I might just go independent and try my luck there. But yeah, week on the wrist with the Explorer. Let's give it a go.
Now I got the watch tested and it's running fine. I just got told I need to wear it more often. As the week goes on, I'm starting to appreciate the watch more and more. I'm not too fussed about the blinginess of the gold, so I'm starting to warm up to the idea of wearing precious metals now. I'm trying to figure out, where does this watch fit? And as the week goes on, I kind of come to the conclusion that this watch fits wherever the fuck it wants to fit, right? So I emphasize this because it is a statement. It is a statement piece. It is something that attracts attention. I was at work and I was wearing this watch and someone asked me, what the fuck do you do in your spare time? The place is obviously paying me too much. And that's not the case, because this is the cheapest two-tone Rolex, gold Rolex that you can get into. So that's not the case, but it's kind of the aura that it gives out. My mates, when they see this watch as well, kind of assume that I'm dealing on the side. I'm like, bros, I'm not dealing, man. It's just, again, it's the cheapest two-tone gold Rolex that you can get that's modern. So yeah, it does have a presence and it does attract that, oh yeah, look at this fucking guy kind of vibe. And as time goes on, I'm starting to see that as not a bad thing. I'm seeing it as more of a refreshing change of pace. Because I only really wear stainless steel watches, and majority of us only really wear stainless steel watches, having this gold in my collection is giving me a breath of fresh air, and it's actually wanted me to expand my collection to be more diverse with the metals I use and choose to buy. So in the future, now I'm thinking, okay, I want to get a rose gold watch. So I'm eyeing out the Yachtmaster 37, the two-tone with the chocolate dial, and I wouldn't mind actually even getting a titanium watch. So I've moved my Black Bay on, and I'm thinking of maybe I might get the Pelagos 39, experimenting with different metals because they do have their own characteristics. And when I think about the Explorer and how it fits in my rotation, I think that this is going to be the palate cleanser moving forward. So for me, when I'm wearing my stainless steel pieces and I need a palate cleanse, I need to change the day up. I need something different to give some energy into my life, right? I might, gravitate towards this more to cleanse the palate. It's kind of like when you have too much sweet stuff. You're having too much sweets, you need something to cleanse your mouth from all that sweet shit that you're eating, right? So it's, I guess, a similar principle in this regard. The Rolex Two-Tone Explorer, it's a fucking charming piece. It's a good piece. It's something that's really underrated. I don't even see anyone wearing this piece in the... how long has this been released for? Who knows? Like, in the years that I've been into watches, I've never ever seen anyone else wear this watch. And I guess that's also a positive for me because, hey, it's something unique. No one else really wears it. Though after this video, I think more people would start to appreciate this watch for what it is and not what it's trying to be. Yes, it's an Explorer, but it's not trying to be an Explorer. It's something different. It's something much more than that. And seriously, I don't know why the market is tanking on these, but good for us, right? If you're after a good two-tone piece. This one's under retail. It's going to be under retail in Australia. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but in Australia it is under retail. So I reckon people should get their hands on this. Let's go back to face level and finish up this week on the wrist. Jesus Christ, that was a long week. God damn. Bloody hell. So anyways, we're done with the week here with the Explorer two-tone. Now, I say it's been a long week because I've had pretty much the entire week just out on the road, doing full day meetings, waking up at 4, coming back home at like 9, and going to sleep at like midnight and whatnot. So yeah, that's life, right? But how was it with the Explorer? Now, my final thoughts on this is, if this is going to be your one and done watch, look elsewhere. Don't buy this watch if it's your one and done, right? Just because there's gold in it doesn't mean that it should be a one watch collection. If you're going to get the Explorer 36, 39 or 40 as a one and done, get the stainless steel version. Don't get the two-tone. Even though the two-tone does present fantastic value, probably the best value for a precious metal Rolex, two-tone. It's the cheapest way to get into a gold Rolex, but it's tiresome, man. So I'm tired. I'm tired of wearing it on a daily basis. I don't think I can wear it on a daily basis. And that's not necessarily a negative. No, it's just the fact that I was looking forward to wearing something else. And as soon as the week was over, I wore my other pieces, right? Like this morning, I ended up wearing the Speedmaster when I took Pluto for a walk. I just wanted to wear something else. And then I got back home from the walk, and then I ended up throwing on the Santos. And it just felt, I felt relieved wearing something else and taking this one off. And that's not to say that the watch is shit. And that's not to say that I don't like the watch. It just says that sometimes too much of a good thing is not a good thing, right? It's like having chocolates. You have too much chocolates, it's not going to be good for you. And at the same time, you get sick of it. Same thing with this watch here. Too much of it, and I end up getting sick of it. Now, I don't get sick of it to the point where I'm going to sell the bitch. No, that's not the case. It's just that this watch, at first, when I got it, I didn't know what the purpose of it was. I didn't know where it fit in my collection, right? Because it's a sports model, but it has the precious metal in it. It's the same thing with the Bluesy. If you were to get a two-tone Submariner, either the Bluesy or the black one, or a two-tone GMT, it's a sporty watch. But those ones are different because they're a lot more elevated. They're a lot more flexy in nature. They are flexy pieces. This one, on the other hand, it's not a flexy piece. Like you look at it, it's an Explorer with gold. Like who cares, right? However, After forcing myself to wear it for a week, I've come to the conclusion that this is the perfect palate cleanser. It's a palate cleanser throughout the week when I'm wearing stainless steel models, either my dressier pieces or my sports watches. And this breaks up the monotony of wearing the same every day, right? Like when I wear it after a while, maybe after 3 days or 4 days, and I put it on my wrist, it's a breath of fresh air. And I like the fact that it's versatile, that I can wear it on a casual basis, right? With my Audi hat, my Game of Thrones hoodie, I might throw on a gold chain or two, gold bracelet, and that's my casual outfit for the day. I don't have to think about it too much. Whereas on the business occasion or the dressier side of things, I can throw it on and it won't look out of place. It's a palate cleanser. To summarize this video, Two-Tone Explorer, would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it, but not as a one and done. If you only have one watch in your collection or only space for one watch in your collection, and there's a lot of people out there that only just wear one watch, I wouldn't get this. I would get something else, right? You do have a collection, a rotation of maybe 2 watches, and you want to look for your third one? Sure, get this as your third one. Or even if you had one watch, this would complement the other watch fantastically. I've seen many great photos on Instagram where, especially some Japanese people, they have this in rotation with the Santos and this, fuck, that's a good rotation piece, right? Or even a Datejust in this, stainless steel Datejust in this, that's a good rotation. My Speedmaster in this, good rotation, right? So this is a great complementer to an existing rotation as opposed to like a hero piece. It's not a hero piece, I don't feel like. Again, I emphasize it's more of a palate cleanser in that regard. Now, yeah, it's nice. It's nice for what it is. It's a nice complementary to your collection, and that is the week on the wrist. I am happy that this week is over because I cannot wear this day in, day out. I just can't. As a daily piece, no fucking way, no. But anywho, I'm tired. That's the video. See you in the next one.